we'll learn from this.
Yes.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Michelle.
So I was curious, as you reflect on your lesson, how do you think that it went?
I think it went well using the Frere model because he was able to make connections with the word using, examples, non-examples, things that he could relate to in his life, instead of just the definition. So I think it went good.
Okay. So what did you remember, what did you see your tutee doing that made you feel like the lesson was successful?
After I modeled for him, I gave him an example for chocolate. And then after I modeled it for him, then we went and did one together, like an actual vocabulary word from the reading that we did. At first, it's funny because at first I didn't really think he was getting it because I kind of felt I was just filling in the organizer and he was just like, and listening. But then when I actually asked him the questions and for him to help me and then his responses, then I said, okay, maybe he is getting this. And then I'll really assess him when he has to do it by himself.
Okay. So you kind of feel that at first you weren't sure because he was just quiet and listening?
Yeah, I didn't really know if he was engaged or if he didn't understand or if I was not explaining it correctly. But once we started having conversation and talking about it, then I said, okay, I think he's grasping it. I think he's getting the idea of how to use the model. And I did explain, which I thought was good. I did explain what the model is used for, what the benefits are, so he will know why we are doing this.
So is there anything you noticed about your questioning that you think might have helped with the lesson?
That's a good question, and I actually don't really feel I asked very good questions.
Why not?
Because a lot of my questions were, do you think, instead of like, what do you think, or why. They were not open-ended questions, and that's something within myself that I need to work on because I'm not helping my student because it's not opening, a passageway for him for his thoughts. It's just closing it. He could say yes, no, and he kept saying, I don't know. So that's something that I need to work on for my next lesson.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is there anything that you think you did differently, or how well do you think you stuck to your plan?
I stuck to the plan pretty well. I didn't change anything because we went from the double entry to the Frere model to using the race strategy, and I kept with that format. So it was pretty good. And today we used the vocabulary words that we did in the Frere model in sentences. And I said, just remember, really well actually. I said, do you remember what deprived means? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, okay, here we go again. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to use I'm not going to ask a question that's going to be giving me a closed answer. I said, well, remember when we did the Frere model and, think about that. Think of your examples and non-examples. He's like, oh, yeah, taking candy or giving candy too much, spoiling. And it just, jolted his memory. He's like deprived, like taking something away.
Good. So you were able to sort of take what you learned from this and apply it to today's, because this was yesterday. Cool. So is there, do you have any hunches to explain maybe, did anything not go as you hoped it would have gone?
I think the only thing that I did not do well was probably during my guided instruction, not answering very good questions. I think that kind of just shut him too quickly instead of really opening it. Maybe I could have saved myself some time and so not guided him as much if I did that.
Okay.
But I think I did the gradual release okay. I just questioned myself on my questions during the guided. But the activity in itself, I feel was effective. From his responses, from what he wrote, and from him remembering the next day.
Okay. So how do you think that our conversations have helped you? Like, how have I helped you as a coach so far?
It's a different lens because a lot of times I don't see within myself strategies that I've done before, and I have a roadblock and I can't think about it. So just actually talking and thinking out loud the lesson and having someone who knows what we do and what we plan, the standards and the objectives. That was very helpful, and and you really listening to what I told you about my student and making, like, not even suggestions, just leading me toward what I probably already knew, or what I should have done or should do. So that was very beneficial and helpful. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Is there
welcome.
anything else I can assist you with, or?
As of right now, I think I'm on my P's and Q's and ready to reflect some more and plan better activities for Chris.
Good. Sounds like it.
All right, great. Thank you.